guys, I'm making this video because this is pretty annoying. So basically this is the Harem from Diablo 2. If you guys have played this game yet, this is Diablo 2 Resurrected. This is in Act 2. It's a really cool storyline. It has to do with the Sultan. He's been locked up in his castle and you don't really know what's going on until he lets you in later, and turns out a bunch of demons have broken in and killed all of the harem girls. Keyword there, harem girls. So the reason I'm making this is because, as you can see in the video, I'm toggling legacy mode on and off. This basically goes from the original game back in the year 2000 when this came out, like 21 years ago, and the new Resurrected mode. And while they did add a lot of cool stuff to this Resurrected mode, they also removed a lot of assets from the game, kind of moved them around. I've been kind of checking the dungeons as I've been going, and for the most part nothing has bothered me until I got to the harem, because as you can see, they have basically removed a lot of the dead girl models, and instead they've outright just removed them, or they've put clothes on them. A lot of character models in Diablo, if you guys have played, you know Diablo's dark, it's messed up. It's supposed to be that way. It's almost like a survival horror dungeon looter. That's kind of what Diablo 1 and 2 were supposed to be. Most people have played Diablo 3, and that's like much different than these, but yeah, the big thing was back in the day was kind of the adult theme. You know, it was gory, as you can see in the video, gory, you know, messed up demons. I actually killed all the monsters in this dungeon because I wanted to just make the video. This one, there's one in here too where the model looks like a girl in the legacy, and then they change it to like a dude. So basically, yeah, the women were naked, they were mangled in the legacy mode, and they kind of removed all that, but they added more dead guards, and they added these random males that were, again, the story didn't say anything about dudes in there having fun with the girls. The story basically is hinted that the girls went into the palace to hide from the Dark Wanderer when he walked through Loot Lane, kind of like to protect them or whatever, and then the portal in the basement that goes to the Arcane Sanctuary opened up and a bunch of demons came out and they killed girls and guards. That was the only inhabitants of the palace, is the girls and the guards. So there shouldn't be dudes in there that are like topless. That doesn't make sense. And they've added those, which is just, it's just ridiculous in my opinion. So they shouldn't have any guys in there. It should just be dead girls and guards. So what I've noticed is they've removed a lot of the dead girls. I can count like 5 or maybe 6 dead girl models, and keep in mind this game is procedurally generated, so every playthrough it's a different layout, so sometimes you'll get different assets, but I think that both levels of the harem for me had the right amount of assets to really judge this. But yeah, what I noticed is they added more dead guards and then random dead males, and then there's maybe like 5 or 6 dead female models, and they're all wearing tops, which most of the girls were wearing tops in the original, as you can see in the video, but there are a couple there that are topless, and you know, there's one that's like laying face down. You can't see her boobs or anything, but you can see like her back. That they changed that to a dude, which again, that doesn't make sense. Why would there be dudes in there like that were not guards? I guess it's kind of stupid. So anyway, the reason I'm making this video, guys, is because this is kind of what I was worried about when they were going to make the Resurrected version. And keep in mind, I'm not hating on this game at all, because I've been playing it. I'm almost done with Act 3. I'm almost to Mephisto. And I gotta say, like, they have done a fantastic job. It's one of the best remasters I've ever played, to be quite honest. They did all sorts of things like auto pick up gold. You know, they added 3D models to the game, as you can see when I toggle between. Like, the game used to be pretty much a bitmap, but they've made it like a 3D 60 frames per second game, and it looks amazing. And the weirdest thing about it is I did the barracks. That's the dungeon that you do right before you fight Andariel at the end of Diablo, or sorry, at the end of Act 1. And there was a bunch of nudity in that as well. And then in the Viper Temple in Act 2, there was even like a naked chick hanging from a hook. And they kept that completely. So it doesn't make sense to me why they would do this to the Harem. The Harem is one of the coolest places in the whole game. Like, again, if you've played Diablo 2, this was one of the coolest like parts of the story, the Arcane Sanctuary, and you know, the mystery of the palace, right? Like you come to Loot Ghislaine at the beginning of Act 2, and you know, the Sultan, I think his name is Jarek. The Sultan is he's like in the palace, and he's like hiding, and you know, everyone's thinking like, oh, he's a king, he's just hiding, to protect himself. And then you find out that no, he was in there with the guards trying to fight off demons that were invading the palace. And so it ends up being really cool. It makes Jarek one of the coolest characters in the game, in my opinion. So the Harem, one of the coolest. It's one of the coolest parts in the whole game. And for them to just change it, I don't know. Again, it's HD, and we got like feminism now, so they can't really, you know, make women look like they've suffered, where they can just men are just disposable. Again, like I said, there's more dead male models that I've noticed, and they even added some. That's what's crazy. Like I think near the end of the video, this is going to be like what, a 10-minute video, 9-minute video. If you keep watching, the audio isn't synced because I'm kind of learning how to do this. So what I'm talking about isn't necessarily going on what's on screen, but as you can see, like the video is just me running around and doing various stuff. So yeah, at the very end of the video, you'll see I found a really good example. There basically were 2 dead guards on a rug and 2 dead girls on a rug in legacy mode. You can see this, but if you toggle to the Resurrected remastered mode, you can clearly see that they just removed the females. In fact, there's like no longer even like a rug or anything. So very odd, and it's just kind of annoying, guys. I don't know if this is blatant censorship, but to me it is, because why don't you just leave the harem girls in there? It's literally in the story, like the girls all went to hide in the palace, and the demons came out from beneath them and they slaughtered everyone without mercy. That was like the point. And so when you go into the palace, it's just like bloodbath city, and again, that's the point. And then you have to go down and get into the Arcane Sanctuary. So anyway, I'm kind of just like rambling at this point, but this kind of stuff is really annoying in most things, and I'll probably make more videos about stuff like this as I go on. But the blatant censorship in today's media, and you know, they're remaking movies, and you know, they're making like comic book characters gay or transsexual or whatever, the agendas, right? It's like these people cannot create anything new or unique. So what they do is they just go and they take things that were already great and they just like piss all over them, because you know, it's not culturally appropriate anymore. Meanwhile, things like pornography is completely acceptable. Pornography, prostitution, all this stuff, completely acceptable in today's society. You know, you can, as a woman, you can go out and you can be a hoe, but you know, if you show that in the media, then you're a sexist, and yeah, not good. So anyway, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think about it down below. Like I said, I love this game, but I am noticing some things that are kind of annoying, and so I wanted to make a video about it. But anyway, I will talk to you all later.